Hi, my name is Rick Schnabel, and the reason that I've created this particular video is because I've seen so much rubbish on the internet about anxiety, various cures that can help people to get beyond anxiety. And I'm really calling BS to a whole bunch of them. There are techniques that people talk about, breathing, making sure that breathing to calm and, allow your parasympathetic nervous system to be able to calm itself. There's all sorts of stuff on the internet about specific medications you can take. And let's be honest, that's just really solving the actual symptom, not really the cause. Now, I've been coaching since 2002. I've completed, I think, about over 31,000 hours of coaching, and I've coached thousands of people, many of them with anxiety. And one of the things that I've often found is the most important thing that you've got to do to shift anxiety is you've actually got to get to the traumatic experience. And trust me, every single person who has any form of anxiety has encoded in their neurology some particular event in their lives which is causing them to feel anxious whenever there are any similar triggers that appear in their current day. And so what happens, essentially, the way anxiety is stored and coded within our neurology is we get a traumatic event. Now, it's actually not an illness, it's not a disease, there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, the opposite is true. It's really the signs of a very healthy brain. Let me elaborate just a little bit. What actually happens when we have a traumatic experience, there's a part of our brain called the amygdala, which is right in kind of the center of our brain, very, very close to our nervous system. So basically what happens is when we have an experience, and it doesn't have to be hugely traumatic. For example, I had anxiety in my early life, and I got rid of anxiety because I did the work to shift it. Now, what happened for me was I had a situation in primary school where I was asked to stand up and tell my 8 times tables. Now, my 8 times tables were the worst tables that I would ever imagine saying because I was really bad at them. And what happened, of course, is all my fears were realized when I stood up, and I could get up to about 2 times 8 is 16, but I couldn't get to that 24. I couldn't get to that next number. And of course, the whole class laughed at me. Now, what happens there? In that particular moment, you are relegated down the hierarchy. In other words, in that social setting or that classroom setting, you are brought right down to the lowest of the low. So therefore, our survival mechanism in that amygdala, our fight, our flight, our freeze mechanisms stop us from ever putting ourselves in a public environment again, or putting ourselves in an environment where we're going to look foolish or stupid. Now, that plagued me for many, many years of my life, and actually was the very cause that caused me to find out how to get rid of anxiety. And of course, I became a coach helping people to do just that. Now, here's the thing. Anxiety, what you've got to do is you've actually got to get back to that very event that usually it's a first event, and of course there's many, many others. So what you've got to do is you've got to get back to that event. Now, you might be able to even do this on your own. So hopefully this video will help many people. So what you do is you go back to close your eyes, you let your brain go back to that event. Now, your brain, that is the unconscious part of your brain, if you trust it enough, if you work with it enough, you can actually get it to go back to events and you can fix them. Now, here is how you fix them when you get to them. When you get to those events, like if I got back to that time in that classroom, which of course I'm very familiar with, I can see myself standing up, I can feel my nervousness, I'm looking at my hands mostly, and that proves to me that I'm actually looking down, I'm not looking up. Now, what is happening in that moment? I'm back there, and you will start to feel it. You'll start to feel the anxiety start to build in your body and start to form in your emotions. And then what you do is you imagine yourself rising above that event. So now I can see little Ricky Schnabel sitting there, or actually standing there, about to say his 8 times tables. Now I rise above that, I look at that, and you ask yourself, what was it that I didn't learn back then? Now that I look at it now, what was the thing that I didn't learn back then? So this often takes quite a bit of thought, sometimes even a bit of creativity, to really look at it and ask yourself, what was life trying to teach me? So, for example, in my case, when I look at that, I see that what it actually was doing is it was conditioning me, getting ready for me to be a public person. Now, I'm doing a public video here for you. Now, if I had any anxiety, I would have problem doing this, but I have no problem being very public. And in fact, it taps into my high level being, and that is that I want to help people. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So I'm going to get out of my own way. So when you go back to that event and you start to get a higher learning, and that is, for me, that learning was preparing me to be more public, to be more courageous, to put myself out there. The truth is, we have to get through our fears in order to get to that position in our lives, whatever that position, call it our purpose, our destiny, or whatever you want to create in your life. You usually have to put yourself in that circumstance somehow to be able to build the skills that you need to build, or build the mindset or the attitude to be able to experience those things. So that's what life is, really. It's a whole host of experiences that we have to learn from in order to do what we've come here to do. Now, if we do not have courage, sometimes there are many things we can't do. So unfortunately, many experiences in our lives are actually trying to teach us courage, but because we're not getting the lesson, we're getting the pain, we're getting the trauma, and we're deepening it. So what happens is those hormones drive it deep into our body, lock it in, so that if ever we see anything that looks like it, we will run like hell, avoid them like the plague. And so for that particular reason, it's really a healthy brain. But life is actually there to teach you something. So don't buy into this idea that anxiety is forever, because it's not. It's just you haven't learned a lesson from it. So the next part, once you have got the lesson from it, begin to take in that lesson, really drink it in mentally. Ponder it. Think about what your life could look like now with courage, or whatever that lesson might be for you. Now, the next part of the process is usually it pays to labor on that a bit more, look for some more lessons, look for the learnings. I promise you, we'll start to change. It'll untrain your brain and recalibrate your brain, and it will send out new neural peptides, new biochemistry, and it will release those elements within your hormones, and it will change and reconfigure it in your body so that that anxiety program will massively diminish. Now, the thing that you need to then do is imagine yourself going about an hour before the event even occurred, and imagine seeing a picture of the event in your hands, and just drop that picture. Just let it go. Now, I know this is all done in your imagination, in your thoughts, but so is trauma. Trauma typically is imagination and thoughts. So what you then do is release that picture and then go back to that event now with this new knowledge, and notice how the picture has changed in your mind, or the film, or the sense that you get of it. Notice how it changes. So what you're doing is you're reframing it, you're altering your perception of it and how you see it, And the truth is this: the brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So it can make a huge difference in shifting your thinking. So I agree with visualizations. I agree with things along those lines to kind of help us to, perform better and get better pictures of our future. But the truth is, they don't work unless you actually get to the core trauma. So I hope this has helped you. I hope this has helped you in some way to get beyond the limitations of your life. My name is Rick Schnabel, and I hope I've helped. Bye for now.